Hello everyone, it's Elizabeth and I'm here in my art loft, and guess what time it is? It's time for another walkthrough of a new journal. This is another butterfly journal like the last one that I did. However, this one is with the roll-off pages rather than with the actual gel prints. The back of this one has a crossed spine. It's done with long stitch. I guess that's long stitch, but it comes from this place to this place and back to that signature, back to that signature, and so on. And then the same thing with each of the different colors. And since I had the rainbow colors on the back of the spine, I decided to use the rainbow colors as my fringe again. The white is Kraft Tex. Kraft Tex comes in multiple colors. The golden color that I usually use is called Natural. This is white, of course. There's black. And there's several other colors, although I only have the white, black, and Natural. I put a silk tie on it, similar to the last one, the next to the last one I did. Oh, but maybe that's not such a good idea. That guy's trying to get caught in there. Shame on him. Okay, so let's put our fringe up here and we will get started with the walkthrough so that you can see all the beautiful stuff in here. The outside actually has a print that I had done, and then these are actually stenciled on where I held the butterfly down with a chopstick like this and then push the paint around it. So, and this is actually paint rather than ink. And then it also has a little bit of a doily type stencil that's used in between the butterflies themselves. And there were two different butterflies. You see that one doesn't, yeah, nope, that one doesn't fit that one. This one fits this one, and I think this one. And then this is the other type. But anyway, there are two different ones of these. These are the butterflies were cut from a Tim Holtz. I think it's a Ranger, Tim Holtz, one of those. One of them he did, which comes with 4 die cuts of butterflies, 2 of them solid and 2 of them with the holes in them. Anyway, the inside front cover and the inside back cover both have this print on them, which is a background print with a tiny butterfly stamped over the top. And then we have the signatures, which each consist of 9 folios. And some of these, I may go through again and actually tear off a few of the edges. I haven't decided yet. Sometimes I take these and add an extra page to them by just, tucking it under and letting it come over here. And however, so that it gives you a little more writing space. This one I did not have any set butterflies to butterflies. I think the last journal I did, I had all of this particular style butterfly, but this one has multiple different ones, and as you can see, and I tried to relate the pages like orange and orange there. In this case, this is the other side of the orange one, and I thought it was kind of cool because it made it really colorful on this page. Green and green here. The red and red, but then of course when you flip over this you get a whole different color dynamic on the whole thing. I love this butterfly. I think it's really neat. It was on a wood block. I took it off to make it easier to use. This particular part of the print was a stamp off. I had done a bunch of stamping with my butterflies on my small gel plate, my 5x7. I think it's 5x7. Anyway, somewhere around that size. And so I just had, some paint on it that was left over, and I didn't want to roll it off onto a roll-off sheet, so I just took the thing and stuck it on here, and it came out looking like that. And I really like the way that looks. It's got a lot of, different colors and different butterfly, the same butterfly, but different colors in it. I like this spread here. I think it's pretty with the white and blue together. Of course, I think I'm a blue person. I really like that purpley blue background. Ooh, we got a bent piece. Now, if someone purchases this, then of course they can make their own decisions about which pieces to tear off or leave on. Maybe they don't like this red with the white and blue, so they, you could tear off that edge. There's nothing saying that you can't alter your own book, whatever book you buy. I've done altered books too, besides doing journals. This is the other side of the ones. Well, what's the middle spread? Oh, this was the middle of it. And when the threads come in from the outside, you'll get the opposite one. So this one, I started with purple in here, but the yellowing comes over to here because of the crossover on the spine. The yellowing comes into the purple's signature, and so you get the opposites, you know, on your color wheel. So you'll have yellow and purple in one, and blue and orange in the next, and green and red in the next. I like these. I like this along the edge. I think that turned out really neat. Some of the pages I folded in a Z fold so that you can actually look at the whole thing, or you could, you know, you could glue that down if you don't want to look at the whole thing. If you glued it down here, for example, you could use it as a pocket. Another one of them that I stamped the whole plate onto here, but it didn't have any distinct butterflies, so I went and stamped these butterflies later on it. And that was stamped, as you can see, it was stamped over a roll-off of white. It's pretty. It's got a lot of stuff in the background, colors. Okay, the second signature. And this one I actually have it shorter than, you know, the full width of the page, and it shows this little bit of the next page on it, and I think that's neat because, you know, it goes with the flowers, the butterflies that are on this page. I like that one. I like this butterfly. This was an old butterfly that I found in my sister's stuff and stole it. I like this page. It's got a lot of different colors on it. And it's got this little bit of blue at the top, which kind of makes you think you're looking at the page behind it, but you're not. The blue and orange again, left over from my Fire and Ice series that I made into a book. Series of prints. There's the center of that one. You've got the blue here and the orange in the middle, and then blue again for the strings from the outside. The ones that sew it into the signature. This is the other side of those same pages that we had. There's a Z fold there. And there's nothing more blue. And this one doesn't have very many butterflies on this particular page at all. I like the way these are stamped on the edge. That's pretty down here with the, you know, just the way it fades out and fades in there. And it pulls out. Nothing to see but the red. And signature number 3. When I picked the things for this signature, I picked light-colored pages that I had that were light-colored backgrounds, and then I laid them out with the next side up. So I picked this, and so then I laid it with this side up, and so then I tried to match something to that, and then go on through the signature, matching something to each of the things afterwards. And this one matches because it does have orange and blue on both of them, although when this is folded over, you don't really see the blue on this side that much. But this has some orangish stuff in here, and of course that's orange and blue. And in its own way, this is pretty. I mean, it's got a lot of different colors on it, including some gold, which is always nice. It seemed to me that whenever I use this butterfly, I tended to make an all-over pattern rather than doing just one or two little shapes. Again, a plate laid down here, and there's the center of this signature with the green and the red. And this is another one that was laid down there. Now that really doesn't have that many distinctive butterflies, but if you look at it closely, you'll see like little wings down here and other places. You could stamp on that with another butterfly if you didn't like the way it looks. This particular butterfly looks like, to me, looks like a halftone pattern. If you know what I mean, when they did newspapers and such, they would, well, any ads, you know, color ads or whatever else, if you look at them under a microscope, you'll see that there are little dots that make up the picture rather than the picture being a solid, like a solid stamp. You would think the stamp was solid, but that particular butterfly has a, I don't know if you can see it, but it has actually a grid pattern of teeny tiny dots that makes it up. Can you see that right there? Maybe if I get it closer, let me try that. I think it's cool. Anyway, just something else to note. And that's nearing the end of signature 3. Some more very nice leftover sheets. And then ones that are not. Okay, then signature 4 starts with this butterfly. I think the first 2 signatures had this butterfly as the outside of them. The second 2 signature has this butterfly as the outside of them. And the third set of signatures, 3rd and 4th, have the big butterfly on the outside. So I just think that's interesting. I did that kind of on purpose. This one didn't even have any background roll-off stuff because I was in the middle of doing something else and just stamped the butterflies on there. Oop, that's got a little fuzzball in there from where I tore off the... When I tear off the edges, sometimes I have to, you know, like tear a little extra off because it didn't come as smooth as I wanted it to, and it had a little piece that was left over in there. I think there's one little piece in there. Come on, you. Okay, I think he's gone. Nope, there it is. Ah, it won't matter. Nobody will notice. This is pretty because it's got the gold and the blue all together in there, stamped on, and then stamped on the red background. See how clever that is? That looks good. This one's got kind of blue and gold too. I guess that one's turquoise and gold. That one's blue and gold. And that's the center of the 4th section. And we're back to the purple and yellow. But this one has the yellow on top because this signature had the yellow in the center of it. When I was putting the signatures in order, I noticed that there was red at the center of the first signature and a minute, is it red? No. Purple at the signature. Red at the center of the last signature, orange at the next to last, yellow, this is the yellow one, the 3rd to last, the 4th to last did not really have green, but then the next one had blue, and then the next one had purple, so it was like, that's what I'll do for the threads of this. I hadn't decided yet. And when I noticed that, then it was kind of like preordained that I would use the rainbow colors to sew in the signatures. When you're writing on this paper, it takes ballpoint pen. Pencil shows, but not as much. Like in these dark places like that, you wouldn't be able to see pencil very well. You can use like a Pitt pen. You can definitely use a Posca pen, you know, like the paint pens. Arteza has some pens. You can also use a magic marker if you want, but if you use that, you might get some bleed through because these, especially if you do it on the paper itself without any of the paint on it, because they are thin sheets of, you know, not a really bonded paper. It's almost like a paper bag or something. There's what I stamped with the gel plate again, and it just had a little bit of stuff on it, but it turned out kind of cool. And then I stamped a butterfly here, or maybe that was there first. I don't remember. But I just wanted to get rid of the stuff that was on the gel plate, so I stuck it on my roll-off print, roll-off papers. I like this with the orange that floats over the top of that. I like the colors all that blend in here. I think I've got kind of a gray blue and then a turquoise and then the green. Looks good together. Another Z-fold. That's the center of the fifth section, fifth signature, and it's got the orange and then the blue threads as well. Are you tired of looking at butterflies yet? I thought about looking up butterfly sayings on the computer and writing some of those in here, but then I thought, well, you know, whoever gets it might want to do that. Maybe they don't want to do that. So it all depends. Okay, so the last signature, this is just the way, because of the Z fold on this previous page. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups now. Hope not. And a Z fold here too. That's clever. And sixth signature. There's little butterflies there. And this one, I might rip that. I don't know. That looks okay. I like this butterfly because he's got kind of a variegated color to him because of the way that I stamped it on the stamp pad onto there. Actually, I think that was, yeah, that's got a, like where I put the gel plate directly onto here, and then I stamped the butterfly into it afterwards, I believe, because it's got a little bit of shadow here from where it had been subtracted out of the plate before I put it on there, and then I put it back in with the butterfly itself. That particular butterfly doesn't have any antenna, and it makes me want to go through and draw antenna for it everywhere I see it. I think that's the obsessive compulsive in me sometimes. I like this green and gold together. It's really nice the way it blends to the edge. Some of them are, you know, less there than others because of the fact that they were, you know, I was doing something else, making an actual print while I was stamping onto these papers. These, I don't know if you can see it, but they do have a little bit of purple on the outside edges of them. Another place where I stamped the whole gel plate onto here, and then I went back later and put the orange butterfly in there just to make it more complete or more interesting or whatever. And there I just stamp it on there, and I didn't think it needed to have anything else stamped in there because you can see the butterfly parts that were on the sheet before I put the gel plate on there, so I thought that was interesting. I like those two pages together. And just a few more pages. I still need to make the card for putting behind pages for you to write with, because I haven't done that yet. I like the way I did the butterflies going off the edge there. Kind of like it's flying, one butterfly flying. And that's the last page. I always sign my books on the back cover, on the inside back cover. So if you ever see one that you think might be mine, you can see if it really is, because it will be signed on the inside back cover. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Watch again, and I have one more butterfly journal that I will be making. It is another one with the actual gel prints rather than the roll-off sheets, and I'm not sure when I'll get that one done. I was timing myself on this one some, and it takes like 3 hours to just do the fold in of the pages. Now that I didn't time anything before that, and it takes 6 hours to do the the beads on the back. So, I mean, it takes quite a while to do the whole journal. The hardest part, of course, is deciding which pages go with which pages, or at least that's part of the hard part. Of course, for the real gel prints, one of the hard things is to cut the pages to size. These are already the 8.5-inch wide papers, or tall papers, so that they actually work. So I don't have to cut them to make the height of the page. Okay, I do have to fold them to make the width. And there we have a beautiful bow. And another bow coming up, if I can find the other end of that thread. That's silk. And I left it white silk this time because, of course, the back of the book is white, so it goes with it. And it looks pretty good, I think. And if you want to, you can take these little ties and tuck them in here while you're trying to tie this bottom bow so that they don't get in the way and try to get stuck in your actual... All right, you quit getting in there. So that they don't try to get in there and become part of the bow for this one. Get out of the way, little ribbon. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to tell which part is you're trying to pull through and which parts... I don't think I got that one very tight, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I have to open it back up to put my board for writing on. So, and we'll get this guy back out here, and there we have. Now, that looks good enough. Here we have my sixth journal like this, made more or less like this. They're all different in some way or another. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe, comment, whatever you like. Bye.